Okay, picture this. Nothing. Not even black space, because black is something. Then bam! God speaks and the universe throws the biggest, brightest party ever. Stars, billions, planets, yep, even a special blue and green one. God called it Earth, and he filled it with trees that touched the sky, rivers like shimmering ribbons, and animals of every kind. He even made tiny, glowing bugs. Why? Because God loves beauty and he loves to laugh. But God wasn't done. He wanted someone to share all this amazingness with, someone who could appreciate the beauty, the laughter, the love, someone who could be his friend. So, on the seventh day, after a well-deserved rest, of course, God created humans. Now, God could have made us like robots, always doing exactly what he wanted, but where's the fun in that? God wanted us to choose him, to love him because we wanted to, not because we had to. So, he gave us something called free will. Think of it like a remote control for your life, with a million buttons and no instruction manual. Exciting? Absolutely. Dangerous? Well, God put the first two humans, Adam and Eve, in a beautiful garden called Eden. It was like Disney World, but with talking animals and an endless supply of fruit. God said, eat anything you want, just not from that one tree over there. Trust me on this. Sounds easy enough, right? Well, you know what they say about curiosity and cats. Same goes for humans and forbidden fruit. A sneaky serpent, think of him as the world's first con artist, convinced Eve to take a bite. Eve, being the awesome friend she was, shared with Adam. Suddenly, it was like someone turned on the lights. Adam and Eve realized they were, well, naked. And not the good kind of naked, like when you're a baby in the bathtub. This was, we just broke the universe. God found out, he always finds out. And things got a little complicated. Adam and Eve had to leave the garden. Life got harder, messier. But here's the good news. God never gave up on it. He promised to send someone to fix it, to make things right again. And that someone was going to be amazing. Section 4. The ups and downs of being God's favourites. Now, fast forward a few thousand years, God chose a guy named Abraham to lead a new nation, his special people, the Israelites. He promised them a land flowing with milk and honey. But remember those free will remote controls? Yeah, the Israelites kept pushing the wrong buttons. They'd follow God for a while, things would go great, then they'd wander off to worship statues or something. Talk about awkward. God, being the patient parent he is, kept sending them leaders and prophets. There was Moses, who parted the Red Sea with his bare hands, and a little help from God, of course. There was David, the shepherd boy who became king and wrote awesome poetry. And then there were the prophets, who were basically like God's personal messengers, reminding everyone to get back on track. Sometimes they listened, sometimes they didn't. It was exhausting. Section 5. Jesus, not your average Joe. Fast forward again to a time when the Roman Empire ruled the world. People were waiting for God to fulfill his promise to send that someone special who would fix everything. And then in a humble stable, Jesus was born. He wasn't what people expected. No grand entrance, no army of angels, just a baby, born to a carpenter and his wife. But this baby, this was God's own son, come to earth as a man. Jesus grew up and spent his life loving people, healing the sick, and teaching about God's love. He challenged the rules and showed everyone what it truly meant to be human. He was funny, wise and kind. He was the best friend you could ask for and more. But his message was too radical for some people. They were afraid of his power, his love, his truth. So they did something terrible. They arrested Jesus and sentenced him to death. He was crucified on a cross, a symbol of shame and suffering. It seemed like all hope was lost. But then, on the third day, something incredible happened. Jesus rose from the dead. He conquered death itself, proving his power over everything. He appeared to his friends, offering forgiveness and hope. He promised that this was just the beginning, that one day he would return and make everything new. And that's the story of the Bible in a nutshell. It's a story of love, hope and redemption. It's a story that's still being written today, and guess what? You're a part of it.